Singh. I understand that you're very concerned about your daughter. I'm here to take some key information from you that will help alleviate your daughter's condition.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Singh. No problem.
I need to take a medical history. What symptoms did your daughter exhibit and over what time frame?
Well, for about 3 to 4 days, she had a terrible flu. She was vomiting. She couldn't come out of bed. She was weak. She had a very high temperature.
Okay. Was she on any medication?
She took aspirin for the headaches that she was facing.
Could you give me a brief background history about your family and chronic illnesses, heart disease that I should know?
Well, we had a close adoption, so we don't really know much. But as far as we know, her mother had diabetes at a very young age.
What's the age of your daughter?
18.
Does she have any allergies that you know?
As far as we know.
Don't worry, your daughter has the best medical team. I will continue to update you. Thank you, you have been very helpful.
Thank you very much, Dr. Singh.
Pleasure of working with me today in diagnosing the patients in ER4. Time is of the essence, so let's get cracking. Who took the history?
Her body temperature was very high this morning. Then she started vomiting and having difficulty to keep down food, headaches, fever, body pains, weaknesses. She was taking aspirin for the symptoms, but only 2 doses. They took her to the general physician who prescribed Gatorade and coconut water as he said it seemed like a terrible food. After she became lethargic, confused, and was drifting in and out of consciousness when they rushed her here. My examination revealed a rapid pulse of 120 beats per minute when she began seizing. She was administered fluids to which she regained consciousness.
Well, what are you guys staring at? Someone writes on the board. Do you think death is waiting on us?
Her vitals were low, so I hooked up to IV. She then became responsive.
Well, alright. Let's go visit the patients. Well, guys, what do we do now?
Seizures or convulsions occur when abnormal signals in the brain change the way the body functions. A seizure can be a symptom of another health problem, such as a rapidly increasing fever. This can't be applicable here because the girl is in between 6 months and 5 years old. An extremely low blood sugar level in a person who has diabetes, damage to the brain from a head injury or brain swelling, an infection such as meningitis, encephalitis, or sepsis, Ray's syndrome, a brain tumor or structural defects in the brain, parasitic infections such as tapeworm or toxoplasmosis, and epilepsy, which is a brain disorder in which a person has repeated seizures over time. We would have to monitor the patient over time to see if she has epilepsy.
Well, you listed some good points and some pretty relevant points. Time is of the essence, so concise, precise judgments must be made if you intend to be successful in this field and not to kill our patient wasting time on irrelevant points. The history given by the parents indicated the symptoms were presented all together on a very seemingly healthy individual. A rapidly increasing fever should not be there, as you have already pointed out, the girl is far too old for that. There was no report of an incident involving head injury. A brain tumor or structural defect in the brain would only be an option if the symptoms weren't screaming of an infectious origin. And the list goes on. Please prepare the list of symptoms and possible causes and run the necessary tests, please. The brilliant idea of diabetes.
Well, diabetes, which is hypoglycemia, I think the patient has it because she has nausea, seizures, confusion, rapid heartbeats, and her mother had diabetes.
Any comments?
It can't be diabetes because the The patient's blood sugar returned to normal after administering the glucose.
This is true. So it's not diabetes. Sepsis?
I think it's sepsis because of the fever, vomiting, rapid pulse, and confusion. But I think she may have gone into septic shock with the unconsciousness.
Oh my god, you're boring me with all these topics.
And seizures.
Well, I don't think it could be sepsis because her liver and kidneys were working fine as there was a regular output of urine. Her pulse was normal and her breathing was fine.
Also, there was no bacteria in her blood, so it can't be sepsis. Next.
I think meningitis is a more probable cause. Meningitis is a syndrome caused by
Is this information relevant?
I'm saying this because this can explain her seizures, her irritability, and her vomiting.
Yeah, but she doesn't exhibit photophobia, or she did not give a neck shake when asked to bend her head in the exam.
Also, her spinal tap came back negative, so it's not meningitis.
I think it's Ray's syndrome because Ray's syndrome is sudden acute brain damage.
Well,
and
don't you know big
functional
words?
problems. This syndrome has occurred in children who have been given aspirin when they have flu or chickenpox. Our patient took 2 dosages of aspirin and she had fever, nausea, vomiting, seizures, confusion, and a rapid or fast heartbeats.
It can be raised because her organs are functioning pretty well.
That is true. So it's not Rett syndrome. Have any of y'all ever heard of the term MCAD in your many years in medical school?
Yeah, but that doesn't explain the fever, headaches, lethargy.
Listen to me. Her decreased appetite would have been brought on by the flu that she had, which ended up triggering all the symptoms of this lovely disease here.
So it's a hybrid, which is why it may be confused with sepsis and meningitis.
Finally, something intelligent.
So this is a problem, this is why time is wasted on diagnosing the patient.
Well done. So guys, please jump on treating our patient immediately.
MCADD and beta oxidation of fatty acids. MCADD, or medium-chain acyl-CoA dehydrogenase deficiency, is a disorder of fatty acid oxidation that impairs the body's ability to break down medium-chain fatty acids. It is an autosomal recessive disorder that is caused by a change on chromosome 1 in the ACADM gene, impairing the activity of the enzyme medium-chain acyl-CoA dehydrogenase. Beta oxidation. Beta oxidation is the process by which saturated fatty acids are broken down in the mitochondria to provide energy after the body has used up its stores of glucose and glycogen. The process involves the removal of 2 carbons from the carboxyl end of the fatty acid, producing acetyl-CoA, NADH, and FADH2. Short-chain fatty acids and medium-chain fatty acids, that is, fatty acids with less than 12 carbons, can enter the mitochondrial membrane. Once inside, they are activated to their CoA derivatives by matrix enzymes and undergo beta oxidation. Long-chain fatty acids, however, cannot pass through the mitochondrial membranes. They are first activated to their CoA derivatives by the enzyme acyl-CoA synthetase and are then transported into the mitochondria by an antiporter protein using the carnitine shuttle system. The first step of beta oxidation involves the action of acyl-CoA dehydrogenase. This enzyme removes the hydrogens from the alpha carbon and the beta carbon, producing a double bond between them and forming an enol-CoA molecule. FAD is used as a cofactor and FADH2 is formed. There are 3 types of fatty acyl-CoA dehydrogenase: long-chain fatty acyl-CoA dehydrogenase, medium-chain fatty acyl-CoA dehydrogenase, and short-chain fatty acyl-CoA dehydrogenase. A deficiency of medium-chain fatty acyl-CoA dehydrogenase causes the MCAD disorder. If this enzyme is deficient, beta oxidation of medium-chain fatty acids cannot occur. Impaired beta oxidation has many different effects on the body. The symptoms exhibited by the patient reflected some of these effects. Hypoglycemia, or low blood sugar, occurs because of an impaired gluconeogenesis, which is a process that converts 2 molecules of pyruvate to 1 molecule of glucose. Gluconeogenesis is lessened because it depends on the activity of pyruvate carboxylase to produce oxaloacetate, a reaction that is downregulated by diminished mitochondrial acetyl-CoA. Also, gluconeogenesis is an energetically costly reaction. 6 triose phosphates are needed to convert 2 molecules of pyruvate to 1 molecule of glucose. As beta oxidation of medium-chain fatty acids are unable to occur, less energy is available for gluconeogenesis to go on. Seizures occur when abnormal signals from the brain change the way the body functions. Although glucose is one of the main energy sources for the brain, it doesn't have the ability to store it, so a constant supply is necessary. Hypoglycemia can therefore impair the brain's ability to function, causing seizures to occur. Lethargy can occur as FADH2 and NADH is not produced. These two molecules, when produced by beta oxidation, enter the electron transport chain and through a series of reactions form ATP, which is the energy currency of the cells. For every FADH2 that enters the electron transport chain, 2 ATP are produced. For every NADH that enters, 3 ATP are produced. Also, acetyl-CoA that would have been formed from beta oxidation would have entered the Krebs cycle where more FADH2 and NADH would have been made. As medium-chain fatty acyl-CoAs cannot be processed any further, they begin to accumulate in the mitochondrial matrix. This is toxic when present in large quantities. Carnitine plays an important role in removing them. Carnitine binds to the fatty acyl-CoA, forming an acylcarnitine that is excreted in urine as seen in the patient's urine test results. Treatment of MCADD is usually preventative. The main treatment is to avoid going without food for more than 10 to 12 hours. High carbohydrate meals like sugar-containing drinks, cereals, and pastas should be eaten. One should also avoid high-fat diets, and a low-fat diet is recommended. Vitamin B7 has been seen to help prevent low blood sugar of an affected individual. It also contains L-carnitine. L-carnitine is a substance made by the body that carries waste out of the body's cells and into the urine. As discussed before, the accumulation of fatty acyl-CoA is toxic. L-carnitine also ensures that the affected individuals break down long-chain fatty acids in preference to medium-chain fatty acids. Blood glucose levels should also be monitored to control hypoglycemia.